like skirt. I ain't with it, had a swerve. I ain't with it, had a swerve. I ain't with it, had a swerve. Like skirt. I ain't with it, had a swerve. I ain't with it, had a swerve.
Yeah, and I'm like. So first off, I'm going to use a photo finish primer. This is a Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I just have my client rub this in with their hands because I feel like they can work it better into their skin than I can with a brush. Next, I'm taking my absolute favorite foundation for my clients. This is the Makeup Forever HD Sticks. I'm using the shade 153 on her. It is very yellow based and it's perfect for all my tan girls. So that's mainly what I use. Next, I'm blending that out with a sponge. So I apply it with a brush first to get as much coverage as I want, and then blend it out with the blender, or I want to say beauty blender, but this isn't. This is the Eco Tools blender, which has replaced my beauty blender. I love this so much. Next, we're using concealer. I am using the LA Girl Pro Mixing Porcelain and the color Light Beige together to make the shade that I want. Applying this on the high points of the face, I then just go in with a sponge and blend it out. I love the sponge because it has a flat top, so it allows me to make that clean line for the shadow under the eye. It just blends out super easy. Sorry for my voice. I was at Coachella this weekend and my voice is like completely gone. Just trying to get it back. So I just went ahead and pressed that into the skin and blend it out. And then I go back with a lighter shade if I feel like I need more coverage or I want more of a contrast. So this is going in with just porcelain. So before we mix porcelain and light beige, now we're using just porcelain. Don't be afraid to mix your foundations or concealers, guys. You can always customize colors. Like makeup, it has endless opportunities. Next, I am taking the HD foundation in 177, and I'm applying this to contour her face, just using a flat concealer brush like I said before. Same way of applying the foundation, and then I'm just going to use a sponge to blend that out. Again, the flat edges help me really like push into the bottom of the cheekbone and pull up. It's a lot easier to blend out with this one than the sponge. Than the normal beauty blender. I don't know, I just like the shape of this one. But I go ahead and just blend it out till it's seamless. Remember, you can always go back and forth with the foundation if you feel like it's too harsh, or the concealer if you need to clean it up. But I feel like it blended out pretty well. This is where I would normally bake with the sponge, but I decided to just set with a powder. So I use the airspun powder and a brush. I'm using the Real Techniques brush here. I'm not sure what number this is, but it's a little powder brush. I'm using this to just set under the eyes. Normally I bake if I want it to be like super flawless, which I still want it to be flawless, but I just didn't want it to be as heavy, so I went ahead and just patted the powder on. Later I actually ended up baking under the eyes a little bit. I feel like if I don't bake under the eyes, I do get that little creasing, especially on Haile's eyes, because she has a slight little crease under her eye, just like a natural one. Next, I'm using a transition powder. We'll call this our transition powder because it isn't really a bronzer nor a contour. It's kind of like that in-between color between a bronzer or contour and her natural foundation color. So I'm using Soft Tan, and this is the NYX Hydra powders. These powders are absolutely freaking amazing. I'm obsessed with these. So I'm using that with a big fluffy brush, and I'm kind of just mapping out the places that I'm gonna contour, almost as like this is being our bronzer. It's like a natural shade. I feel like a lot of bronzers tend to be very orangey, or I don't know, just some wonky colors. Sometimes they look too like spray tannish. So I like to actually use a foundation shade like this, a foundation powder. That's a mid-tone between her actual foundation shade and her contour shade. So it's kind of like a transition. Just how you transition your eyeshadow, why don't you transition your face? So that's how a lot of these makeup artists get that perfect blend into the contours. It looks seamless because they use that transition shade. So it's more like a gradient effect. I'm adding some more light under her eyes with the NYX. These are the what are these called? Hashtag selfie. I'll write it down below. Something with selfie in it. Oh no, hashtag no filter. Duh, I'm silly. So I'm just using a brush to add some light into the face. These have a very nice sheen to it. It's kind of like a skin-like sheen. Super beautiful. I like to use these. I believe I'm using shade 3 on her, and I just kind of go over all those areas to clean up the contours and add some more light under the eyes into the center of the face. So I like using the powders in light and dark shades to add dimension to the face, so it's not just one shade. Next, we're highlighting. I'm using this fluffy brush from Morphe. I will leave the number down below, but I'm using the Artist Couture Illuminati highlight. I apply that, I just swirl it into the cap and then apply it. And then I also believe I mixed, right here is the Pro Fusion bronzer and the gold one from Makeup Forever, just to top it off. I love mixing highlighters too. You never have to settle for one shade, guys. Always remember you can mix. This is my absolute favorite brush ever right now from NYX Cosmetics. I'm using the Sigma blush in Decora. I don't know how to say it. I'll write it down below. But I just use this to softly pat onto the cheeks. If you can see, I'm just lightly blending this together. I'm not making a harsh blush line. I want it to be very soft. Using my Skindinavia bridal spray, my absolute favorite spray of life. I need this for all my clients and myself. Next, I'm going into her lips. I just went ahead and used a stripped down MAC liner. And then I believe I used Truffle from Dose of Colors to apply over top. And then the Jeffree Star mannequin in the middle to add some more dimension to her lips. So just want to show you guys a quick face tutorial. Something I do just as like a basic reference for face application with my girls. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know you guys have been requesting a ton more client videos, so I definitely will be doing more. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick face kind of little tutorial here, and the picture I posted of her from this look on Instagram got a lot of hype, so I figured I'd show you guys how to do it. If you guys have any requests for any tutorials or certain client tutorials, let me know down below. I'll be sure to do those for you, babes, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
I'm low-key shredded.